Hi guys, it's me, and welcome to IG Live. And today we're going to talk about proportions, and I'm going to do it just myself today because Dion fell and hurt herself, and she's okay, but she could not come to IG Live today. So it's just me, but we're going to have a little session on proportions. And here to help me is Stella, and Stella works with us, and she's incredible. And what we're going to do is go through a bunch of different shapes to make our points. Because when we go through the actual looks, it becomes much more, the information sinks in, right? So you guys have been seeing my Instagram stories over the last few days, how I start to kind of feed out the information around our topic. And the big aha moment that I had when I was kind of writing up what this talk today was going to be about was that when we talk about proportions in the land of Tibi and in the land of being a creative pragmatist, someone who always strikes that balance between creativity and pragmatism, that we think of proportions in two ways. And the first way is getting the proportions right so that we feel good and that we feel like ourselves. And we've come up with that, it's not really an acronym, but it's saying big, slim, skin. And knowing that and going through that in your head each time, if you're a creative pragmatist, it's going to really settle you, and it's going to help you figure out sometimes when you've tried on your outfit or when you're really diving into a new look and new proportions, it'll help you figure out what is maybe off, and you can fix it yourself. And it's not about going and buying something brand new. It's about really just understanding the concept of big, slim skin. So we're going to drill on that really hard today. And then the other way to think about proportions is in terms of newness. And I gave an example in my stories, and just gonna pull it up here real quick. I had given two visuals, and it was a story of the two Celines, old Celine and new Celine under Eddie Slimane. And what you see there is it really tells such a clear story about brands that are very locked into a core look, very long, very lean, or very bohemian, or very avant-garde and exaggerated. And then you have brands that are about shapes and proportions and that curiosity for it, and that kind of studied approach to what it is about a new proportion that feels interesting and alive and modern. And I had said to you guys that when you're in your closet sometimes and you feel like you have nothing to wear, oftentimes it's because you are searching for a new proportion. And it's why if you go to the store and someone sells you the most random pink sequin shirt or something, you come home and nothing's really changed. Now you just have a pink sequin shirt in your wardrobe. So really understanding when it is that you're starting to tire of a proportion, or when it is that you have existing clothing and you want to explore new proportions with it, that's going to open up your closet in a huge, huge way. So I just want to put up here the two Celine examples that I had given. So this is Eddie Slimane's, and I know I'm butchering it for any Frenchies out there, but this is his collection for Celine. And you can see no matter what the season is, no matter what the year is now, there's a very similar, it's not a through line of adjectives, it's a through line of the way that the clothing looks. But then when you have Phoebe's old Celine here, it's really dynamic in terms of the shape and proportions. And dynamic does not mean all over the place. It means that it's constantly progressing, it's pushing, it's pulling back, it's exploring, and it's using style as a way to really firmly be in the moment. And I love that, and that's what is so exciting about fashion to me and style. And it makes it complicated, but that's why I try and simplify these things for us, because the goal here is we're not talking about proportions in terms of making you have a smaller waist or look 3 feet taller or hide a pear bottom, whatever. This is about proportions so that when you know the style that's inside of you that you really want out and you can't figure out how to do it, because every time you get something in, you're like, why the fuck don't I look like Linda Toll or whoever? We're going to show you what those little tricks are to getting there. because if you are interested in how to hide a pear shape, I've got like 30 recommendations on YouTube on people who are doing that already. So let's talk about proportions in terms of keeping it really cool and really modern. So we're gonna start first here on Stella. We have the cotton poplin, little scoop neck eco poplin dress, right? And it's got the higher waist. And proportion wise, what I love about this is with this higher waist, when she's got the heels on and when the heels are got some strangeness to it, that's when it becomes super, super interesting. So Stella's just wearing a regular black sock with this. This is our Rio heel, guys, and it's actually on our outlet online for a stupid, stupid price because it's the best shoe. And anyways, you should definitely go to the outlet and get it because I love it, and I love it with a black hose. I love it with a black sock. I just love it anywhere, right? And when you are wearing a sock, you can Google little tabby toe socks and get one with your toe cut out, or you can just like make your sock a little big and smush it and give yourself a little camel toe and then stick it through the toe.
It works.
It's really gross. But anyway, so we've got the dress here with this new proportion, this empire waist that is kind of this, it's new and fresh, but it doesn't look girly and it doesn't look too young, right? Okay, so now we're gonna try it layered with a sweater. And, this proportion, what I'm gonna show you is, it's not dated, but it's definitely a trick that you guys know that we use and that we like. So one of the things here, the options with this dress, I'm gonna have you come a little bit closer, is we're gonna do the little rubber band trick, okay? So I'm gonna put the rubber band in like this, and then we are just gonna tuck her under right here. And you can also tuck in the back side too, and when I do it, anyways, you'll spend time and do it better so you don't look like you have too much junk in your front trunk there. But so this is a look, right? And we've seen it, and it feels really good, and I love it. But to me, the look that gives me goosebumps, the look that I will see when I'm in Paris, in the real world, when it opens up, this is the proportion that's interesting. This is a proportion right now that feels like amazing style. And so it's not at all, you can't say that the other style wasn't style. It still was amazing fashion, but it's been out there for a little while. So just doing this and wearing it down like this in these new proportions is when something feels really new. And this is why, like, you don't have to throw the baby out with the bathwater in your closet. Like, there are so many things that if you just try like hiking it up or letting it go down, force yourself to wear it in a different way than how you've been wearing it, then all of a sudden you're going to have style. And it also, you'll see that by having the right pieces in your closet, over time, it allows you to push your style. Because I'm gonna be honest, like Stella, okay, like I could be your mom. I could. I know that for a fact. So the deal is that Stella is still, where are you from?
I'm from Virginia.
Okay, so she's still exploring her style. And when I started Barbie dolling her earlier today, I think there were some things that you were like, right away, you were like, okay, I get the sweater up here, I'm done. And then when I showed it to you down, you were like, oh my God. And then you're like, I'm gonna catch some shit from my friends.
Yeah.
Who are gonna be like, excuse me, Miss Fashion. But the thing is that if you are wanting to push yourself and really try new things, this allows you to do it in baby steps. You don't have to go full on Rue Saint-Honoré Paris Fashion Week. You can do it in baby steps. And then you'll get there, and then you're gonna be like so happy when you feel so good in your skin and really, really pushing and trying new things.
And this does feel so good.
Yes. Okay, so now, if you will take out, this sweater. And so some of you guys asked me how to style the shorter jackets, and we are really liking shorter jackets right now. And for us now, what's critical is in a shorter jacket, what feels the freshest and the newest right now is when they are just literally like a larger jacket but cut off. And I'm not in the mood for a shorter fitted jacket. There was definitely a time where I was like, bonus, I could shop the J. Crew like boy section and get these little fitted jackets, and I'm not feeling that, but I am feeling this kind of shorter jacket. So we've got her here all layered up with the short jacket, and that feels really, really fresh and modern with the shoes. But go get some other shoes. So let's experiment with some other shoes. And I want to show you how shoes really can play a role too when you are looking at big, slim skin. Someone had sent me a DM last night, and they said that they had just bought the chunky Bayron sandal. And they were like, I'm wearing it with the slip dress, and I feel like this is, if big, slim skin, I feel like the shoe is big, and can a shoe be part of the big, slim skin equation? And the answer is yes, absolutely. Like the shoes play a really big role in creating that balance. Because oftentimes it's, if you've got on that full pant and like a big chunky shoe, you just feel out of balance, right? So here, you're gonna come out, and so we got on the Bayron. Now, she's got the socks on, and this is where I think if Dion were here, Dion would be like, this chick is pushing like vegan food at the stall at Union Square. So it feels a little too granola and too heavy, right? So if you were wearing the sock, if you were like committed to the sock and shoe look, you've got big, and you've got a whole big thing going on there. So I don't have much skin, and I'm not really seeing anything slim. So this is where you just oftentimes don't feel as comfortable as you want to feel. So one of the things right away, first of all, to get skin, like, doesn't take a brain surgeon to figure that one out, right? You can hike it up. But really on this one, I would lose
Nix
socks.
the sock.
Like if you take the socks off.
And just for
then-
reference, I'm 5'6", and the dress is a size 4.
Yeah, so just that little bit of skin, and then the juxtaposition here, and I think I'd still push up your sleeves
Yeah.
in. And then let me see what it looks like with a really refined sandal as well. So she's going to try it on with our little knotted sandals that are coming out. And these, and just for the record here, I'm wearing one size too small because that's all I have. But this is a little knotted sandal. It's based off the Giro, which was based off of the Scotty, which was one of our favorite sandals ever. And it's got this little like 1-inch heel maybe at the most. And what we love about this sandal is that it gives you enough height that it kind of puts your body forward a little bit, but you're certainly not toppling over. And I think that, with being a creative pragmatist and pragmatism being, and that functionality being a core tenet of the way that we think and dress, then having that sandal that just goes with everything is really, really key. I'm going to show you too, I'm really into this kind of longer, leaner silhouette, and I will show you, people ask about this, I'm 5'4.5", and I did pin this up about 1 inch. So when I buy these pants, which I don't have to buy them, I get them for free, but when I get them, I'm going to have to hem them just a little bit, because if I had a sky-high heel on it, it'd be great, but I'm not walking around with a sky-high heel, so we know that. So I've got on the little nude sandals, and Stella here is wearing the black version of the sandals. So one of the things that I was really in the mood for that speaks to proportions is with a lot of the longer lengths and with some of the bigger shapes, having a sandal that was really barely there and very, very thin on the straps felt like a really good balance to me. I think also with the masculinity of the coats and everything, that it gives a little bit of femininity without being super femme. Okay. All right, so why don't you put on your
the next
outfit?
one?
We can talk about that. So one of the styles that has not been in my book for a long time is the longer, leaner silhouette. So that's what I'm wearing right now. So I'm wearing the Cassius trouser here. I'm wearing the size 4. So I would describe this fit as a regular fit. So it's just kind of resting on the body. I've got a real pancake ass here, so someone else with a little more booty would fill that out nicely. But this I would describe as a regular fit. It is not oversized, and it is not one of our super skinny fits, like if any of you have the jog for any of those. So I really do like this longer, leaner silhouette. And then I'm wearing the Chalky Dray tank here. And I've got it pinned up on me because the size 4 or the size small, I don't remember what it is, but I should be a size smaller in the top because my flat ass has nothing on this flat chest here. I've got nothing up there. So I should be wearing the top in a size smaller, and I've pinned it. And then I've got on the Cassius blazer. And what I want to explain is this Liam, a lot of you guys have our Liams from past seasons. And we've done some of them in structured wools, and then some of them we've done in what's a ponte, which is a knit, and it has like a lot of give to it. So what you do each season as a designer with a great tech team is you make sure that when you're repeating certain styles, that you're engineering the measurements to really work for that style with that fabric. So I want to caution, if any of you guys bought the previous Liams in the stretchier fabric, and if you really sized down in them, then on this one, don't size down because the fabric is a little thicker and has more stiffness to it and not give, we slimmed up the measurements a little bit. Now, when I'm wearing it, it looks no different than all the other Liams that I've worn, and that's the point. It's engineered to look the same on the body as all the others, but the actual measurements are a little bit smaller. So if you've been wearing, let's say, an XXS and you're really a small, then don't do that with this jacket. Just buy your size and you will be so good to go. Okay, all right, next look for our friend here. Can you maybe bring out the beige pump as well? So next we've got on the Aline skirt. And maybe 5'5", maybe?
I'm 5'6".
5'6", okay. So if you're 5'6", our fit model is 5'9", okay? So the fit model, this is, we grade assuming that she's 5'9", right? So we like this length, but you don't have to have this length. And in fact, when we were putting the clothing on you, I felt a little bit better when it was just a little bit shorter. You seem to feel like,
yeah, it felt a little bit more natural.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to show you guys that the way to do it is just get some binder clips. And don't worry, I'm not telling you to wear binder clips out. That's not like a hack.
Yes to rubber bands, though.
Yes to rubber bands, but this is not a new hack. Like, oh, don't have anything, just stick binder clips all over your body. No, I'm not telling you that. But what you can see here is this length is just a little bit better.
That feels really
right?
good to me.
It's not so overwhelming, especially if you like a chunkier shoe. So if you like a chunkier shoe, I mean, you weren't going to get a skin sandwich anytime soon, but you could have been close to getting a sandwich. So what we like here now, when we talk about big, slim skin, you've got the big shoe, right? But the skirt is quite slim.
Mm-hmm.
The top is slim. And then, but you've got the shoulder pads. And so that's giving this balance as well. So you've got a nice, like, big, slim skin thing going. You definitely have your skin going on. So let's try then what happens with a closed toe shoe. Because you guys ask, how can I wear a closed toe shoe? And, Dion definitely has a thing about toes in the subway. So what we're going to do is tackle the closed toe shoe look. And you don't have to tie it. It's just for show. So when you put this on, and we did our little dressing earlier, I kind of was like, whatever. Like, it was nice. Like if you had it in your closet, you'd be like, that's nice. But the reason why it's not super interesting and why you won't feel great in it is because it's all very at one level. And so you've got the t-shirt that is, a really like simple knit. you've got the leather is very smooth. Like if you had texture in the leather, then that would be a different thing. But right now you're very one note. So let's just put this over your shoulder. So here, you don't have to go layered up, we're not saying that, but just by, and I actually would not go layered up because I like seeing the skin underneath the shirt. But if you move a little bit closer, what you can see is like now the shirt has texture to it, and you've got the interest going on the sleeve, and then you've got that long point on the shoe. And so now it's a little bit better balance to me. And I would still wear the Veyron slide. And I also think it feels younger. And when I say like that it feels younger, I don't mean it feels younger and you're younger, so you should feel younger. It's not like that. Like I should be able to wear that and feel younger. Feeling younger is different than looking younger. It's creates like a state of mind, and it's a good thing. So, we're gonna definitely acknowledge that. Okay, so now let's put on the vest. Okay. All right, so we've got the Liam here, and we are going to keep doing them. And I showed you guys some of the things for fall, though, and a couple sneak peeks at the future Liams. But since we have a little bit of time here, I want to show you two of the things that I did show on Insta to get feedback on. And one of the things is our new boot. And this, if any of you guys have the Logan boot, it is a little bit following that idea there. But what I wanted for fall was, first of all, a point that was a little bit exaggerated. So actually the pumps that Stella just had on has that same treatment where you kind of fool the eye by extending the welt. And then the material here, I have to pick it up to read it. And for all of our Italians, I'm going to butcher this, but this is called Nuvolato Calf. Do you like my accent? Nuvolato Calf. And that means cloudy. And so what it is, a lot of you guys wrote to me and you were like, is this boot brown? Is it black? What is it? So what it is it's actually the perfect brown, because it's one that is so dark that it reads really, really refined. So even if you were wearing like a big black silk dress, this is a boot that goes with it. It doesn't look like you're trying to, channel Ralph Lauren's wife or a Ralph Lauren model or anything. It's a way of wearing a brown that feels extremely urban. It's not like you're wearing it in New York and people are like, hey, what time's your writing appointment? So, this is a really, really good brown. You guys did ask if it comes in black, and we are doing it in black as well. So this is a black calf leather, so it's got like some guts to it. When you saw the picture, it was quite slim on the leg, and I really, the shafts have been so wide lately, so I have been craving something a little bit slimmer. And then I say that they've been wide, but then we did the Lars boots, right, and that's skin tight. But for the cowboy boot style, I wanted something a little longer and leaner. So when we really nail that fit so that it can fit a broad range, we will give you guys the calf measurements. But if you DM one of the personal stylists and let them know if you want the boot, that would be great. We are super committed to not overproducing. We are just not going to do it. These are all handmade in Italy, and Cecilia and Pauline are over there, and it's the real deal, real people, and slow fashion. So let us know if you guys want these. Okay, so you are coming out here with the skirt and the vest.
Mm-hmm.
What was the other shoe that we had on with you for this one?
We have the gold sandal,
And
I think maybe the black one.
I think it's the black sandal. too.
Black sandal.
Okay. All right, so maybe Ray can bring that one out. Okay, so we've got this on with the vest right now. And again, it's creating like this whole slim look here, and then you balance it out with the big shoe, right? So it's the really good balance of big, slim skin. And then for this, we don't have to put this on too. But again, you can really, really dress this up as well with the little black sandal here. So this is the sandal up close, guys. Really strappy and easy, but totally chic outfit. And then let's see the vest with some different pants as well. Okay. All right, so I showed you guys the boots. Also for fall, this is one of my most favorite things in the whole world that I posted. And this is a wool laser cut. It's all recycled wool from Italy. And it's laser cut. And it's backed so that what happens is with the backing, it makes it so that, you know, you don't get any fraying. And the skirt's not lined. And what happens is it's wool, but it's not itchy. And that's what keeps it really, really cool. And what's really incredible about this skirt is when you wear it, because it's a trouser style, this kind of pushes out here. So it doesn't look like a huge A-line at all. The trouser keeps this so that actually it's sometimes when you're standing in a certain way, it almost looks like you're wearing culottes. And what's really cool in the balance of proportions here, this one sits a little bit lower on the waist because for fall, we've definitely got the lower waistlines happening. So it sits a little bit lower on the waist, but what's really important too is it's all been depressified. So when you wear this with you could wear this with a big gray sweatshirt, a big navy sweater is how I love it, but the trouser detail and the wool, but then mixed with the eyeletting keeps it really, really, really crazy and perfect. And I will say, we do know the price on this skirt. So this one will retail for $750, and that's a super bargain because it's the ultimate, it's a play dinner work skirt for sure, because with the tall black boot, you're going to work in it. It's absolutely amazing for a dinner. I'm gonna wear this like crazy. So I wanted you guys to see these two because we're gonna also put up a pre-order on this one as well, just to make sure that we do not get too many, I don't wanna overproduce, and we've got a very limited number of stores that we're working with, so not overproducing is really the name of the game. Okay, so back to proportions. So now Stella's wearing the vest again, and you're wearing it with the high-waisted taffeta pant, which is really, really great. So this goes great with a high waist or a low waist. And what's great, the taffeta pant is one that we said, was the ultimate PDW pant. And it really is great in all different climates. Like I know Lane Crawford has this one in Hong Kong, Space Mue has it in Korea. Like no matter what area of the country or the world that you're in, this pant has a lot of functionality. So this one is sitting higher at the waist. And what's nice is when you leave this button here, it kind of just spreads open. Mm-hmm. And she could wear this box here. So she's got this done all the way, but you could wear it a little box here. But what's nice is because the pant is really ticking off the big component, then having this all quite slim here is like super chic. So it's that balance of big slim skin. And if you came out in this with a skin tight pant, it's just kind of obvious, you know what I mean? And so if you're listening to this and you're looking for those nuances for how, what's the difference between style and stuff, between just having clothing versus clothing that's really showing your creative personality, this is the perfect big slim skin match. Okay. And we wanted to try the jacket on the feet. Yeah. So the blazer, okay. So we talked about short blazers, and we put this on, and I did not like it. I know I see hearts, but hold on, guys. This is too much going on, okay? So what we're gonna show you is, if she had a shirt tucked in, I'd be fine with it. But the thing is the cropped blazer with the item coming right up at the waist. So, okay, let's say she's doing this. It's a look. If you've got shitty friends, they'll start doing MC Hammer comments and dances when they see this. But it's a look. It's kissing the top. But the thing is, it's been around for a while. So let's show how this jacket looks with something a little bit lower waisted. Okay. I miss Dion, man. She would be helping me fill in my space right now. And I'm like, what are my notes? So the lower waistline is really, the other thing I want to point out with the lower waist coming up is doing the lower waist does not mean that we've all we're not all doing like the Britney Spears, which I don't want to pick on Britney anymore, she gets a lot of grief, but we're not doing that kind of early 2000s tiny little rise. But we're not doing the super long rise either. So for fall and then for spring 22, because that is what we are full on into right now, we have got some of these longer, leaner looks. The rises are coming up a little bit. And I do love the long rise still because it creates an effortlessness, and we like the long rise when you're wearing the pleated pant. But somehow, if you get that super low rise with the skinny pant, you end up looking like one of those that kind of walk like that. And it's a whole Rick Owens moment, and I appreciate it, but it's kind of not my thing. And I think that figuring out what your thing is so key, because sometimes you can get really enamored with an area or with a look, and then every time you buy into it, you try it on and you're like, damn, I just, I don't feel like myself. And I used to always have that problem when I would go to California and everyone's running around, and they're distressed knits, or they're distressed pants with the crotch, that hits right mid-thigh. And every time I put it on, I just never felt like myself. So the challenge with proportions is finding that way to really maintain the ease, but then the interest of a proportion. I'm going to show you, one of the tops here that really gives a nice mix with the slimmer pant is wearing, if you've got this slimmer silhouette at the bottom, then it's having something really kind of a little bit bigger and interesting happening at the sleeve. So this one is also the chalky drape. It's the same fabric that I'm wearing. And this is one of the 12 mower fabrics, but it really, with the chill, longer lean pant, it really takes on a chill attitude, where later on, if I was wearing a really high-waisted full skirt with it or something, it becomes very cocktail party and a totally different thing. So again, if you've got all these different, your closet's full of clothes, right? I know that it is. Make sure that you try on all this stuff. Try it on with a pant that you wouldn't have normally tried it on with before, and see what the new proportions are that you're creating and that you like, and make sure that you take lots of pictures of yourself. So here, Stella's wearing the Eco Cotton, Organic Cotton 12, thank you. And this was based off of our best-selling body from last year that everyone loved. And now it's sitting a little bit lower at the waist, and you're wearing the chalky drape sweatshirt with it. And what's great about this sweatshirt style is it actually has all the functionality of a sweatshirt, but it is a chalky drape. So that means that if you were wearing a silk file full skirt with it, no one would be giving you grief, because it looks totally refined and put together at the same time. And so here, this is where the new proportion looks really, really strong, because you've got the bell coming out at the bottom, you're wearing the crop, but this is what you do not need to be concerned about. So when we talk about skin sandwiches, they only happen at the leg. There's no such thing as a stomach sandwich. That doesn't exist. So this little group here, this I think it goes back to the idea of ease. And so when you're so confident and you have so much ease, then you've got a crop jacket on and you're like, I'm just wearing it, and it just works with what I'm wearing, and I'm not concerned about whether or not it's going to hit the top of the waistband. And in fact, by not hitting the top of the waistband, I look more chill and laid back than that's when you've hit a new style. Okay. But I want to show you, with all this coverage that she has, that if we love our loafers too, but I think that for some people, this is where when you put the loafer on and you've got the long sleeve and you've got the long pant, this is where some people can feel a little bit out of balance. imbalance, that things are just too big, and they don't have that mixture of big, slim skin. So really just kind of checking your body each time and making sure that you've got like all those components on is key. And then the last thing, if you'll take this off, and I'm just gonna try it with this, we don't have to do it with the t-shirt, is actually go put on the white.
The t-shirt?
The white, no, t-shirt, so we can show the difference. So these are already on the site, and then we've got the shoes are coming this weekend. And I think I told you guys, you know, the shoes are running a little bit behind, and I think we all forget sometimes that COVID is still going on out there, and our poor factories in Italy and in Peru have had a really, really, really tough go at it. So I love being able to show this stuff to you guys directly and talk to you about it, because then we all have such a different understanding of what is kind of going on in the world. So these are coming this weekend. And let me see, what else? I'm gonna show you this last thing, guys. Okay, so she's got the little t-shirt on, and I wanna show you with the jacket again, because I think it'll demonstrate the high-low of the short jacket, so come up. So again, this is totally cool. Do not be thinking like that you have to like have these two kiss at all. This is cool, and it's very purposeful. So we love this, and you've got all the big slim skin going on, and then of course we love it with the layout.
This is like the ultimate outfit.
Yeah.
This is so good.
Would your friends give you grief in this?
This, I feel like I could take anywhere. The socks and sandals, they might have a problem with, but we're getting there.
But let me ask you a question. When you say that your friends would be down with this now, is it like, has your eye changed in terms of the proportions since like you've been seeing the larger sizes and everything? Has your eye changed?
I would say definitely. I've always kind of been an oversized kind of girl, so I think like my soul is really excited that that's what everyone's kind of loving right now.
Right.
But you know, oversized, it's either you kind of love it or you hate it, or I feel like if you hate it, you didn't give it a good enough try.
But even if you were saying that you love things oversized, when we were playing dress up earlier, when you had on like the long Aline skirt and you had on the long blazer and the coverage air, you were like deflated.
Yeah.
Right?
Totally.
So even though you're going oversized, the trick is the big slim skin. And that's how someone 5'4" and that's how someone 5'6" can really, you know, people are like, I don't get it. How can you wear the oversized? And it's like, because you do those little tricks that make all the difference in the world. So go play with your closet, bring in your rubber bands and your scissors and your safety pins, try out all new proportions, and really, you know, when you start to take screenshots of people whose style that you really look and admire, so much of it is about the proportions. It's how they're carrying it. It is very rarely ever about like the absolute specific item, because you know when you get that item home, all of a sudden it just didn't do it for you, right? So play a lot in your closet. DM me with any questions, because I know that you guys will. And I hope this was helpful, but you know, go forth, be happy, and proportions are about style and not about hiding flaws, okay? All right, bye guys.